We saying we can do better.
Yeah, feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now. Told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog. Yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk. Don't care what they say. I don't got no patience. I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it. Running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it, dog, like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Coach, what's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving it energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
We have creative.
They try to take it, I'm getting it back. And if they hit me, they gotta get taxed. I'm making hit after hit after hit, and I promise you, boy, every one of them slap. Hop on a verse and I body it quick. They never work, and it's why we don't mix. I don't got time for the faking. I swear that I always say real, something they never did. Oh, they saying that I'm up next. I told them that I'm up now. Promise I came for the next. I'm needing honeys on honeys, cause that's what I'm worth. Show me the finish, I'm getting it first. Show me the best, and that's me and my worst. I need that money, I'm getting it now. I'm at the top, but I started way down. I told them hundreds of times that I'm really done waiting. I swear that I came for the crown. Oh, you should go ahead and write over. I the Rover. Feeling like Blake, I'ma put him on a poster. I don't really play when it come to my checks. I've been in the gym, so you know I gotta flex. If I shoot a shot, then it's gonna be a wet dog. I'm coming for these meals, I ain't taking no less. Yeah, yeah, I ain't really taking no less. Now they tryna send me that text. I ain't hit them back, they stress. I'm needing hundreds of hundreds, cause that's what I'm worth. Show me the finish, I'm getting it first. Show me the best, and that's me and my worst. I need that money, I'm getting it now. I'm at the top, but I started way down. I told them hundreds of times that I'm really done waiting. I swear that I came for the crown. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mill, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's my time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Told him come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. What is going on, Mafia? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us here to do a bunch of TI on this crazy thing they call Bitcoin, which kind of had a little bit of a boring day. Kind of just bled out to the downside. We are now seeing a little bit of a bounce from the lows that we made. I want to talk about that little bounce. Can we see it continue, or are we more likely to continue down to the bottom of that macro range where we have that value area low? We actually have two value area lows that we could be looking at, one closer to 61K and another one closer to 63K. I want to talk about both of those targets, guys, and I also want to talk about the bullish and bearish case in the long term here. There is a much higher price that I am looking at in the bullish case and a much lower price in the bearish case. So I want to take a look at the more high time frame or the higher time frames to see which one is more likely. And we'll talk about those actual targets and why I think we can make it to either of them right now. We are seeing some mixed signals. So we're going to break down all the key levels. We'll talk about some of the trades. And shout out to Golden for starting off today's live stream with a fire 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Shout out to Golden. Already popping off here, and shout out to Golden, bro. I just see these dang memberships just popping up. Shout out to Dose of Crypto. Shout out to Multiple Tooth. Shout out to you. I think that's what that said. Shout out to Spade Man. Shout out to Mike S. What's up, Goldavelli in the chat? What is going on, guys? Don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you some extra chances to win some free crypto. And maybe if we hit 550 likes, or I should just say the next live stream we hit 550 likes, I will give away some Frankie Candles hats. I see those memberships just continuing to come in. It's like you pop into the live stream, you get a membership. So shout out to Golden for supporting not only the channel, but also the community. And speaking about support, people, we're going to do it again, guys. All the Super Chat revenue from today's live stream will be going to the mods. We did this yesterday, and I don't know, Golden's just motivated, inspiring me to give back. So let's go ahead and we're going to drop any Super Chats to the moderator. We'll go to the moderators from today and yesterday as well. We'll just combine it for a little bit of a bigger bag for the mods. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for everything you do for the channel. And with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. We have a lot to look at here, and we will also be taking a look at some of the altcoins. As you guys know, yesterday we were looking at XRP as it was potentially setting up for a move to the upside. I want to shout out to Gen Z, says dang wild. Shout out to Gen Z. But yeah, we're going to I kind of want to talk about the altcoins as well. We will be taking a look at those at the end of the stream or towards the end of the stream. We took a look at XRP as it was setting up in a potentially bullish scenario. I want to kind of check in on that, show you guys what I'm looking at. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's go. So here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. Who knew? Let's see. Wild indeed. Shout out to Tyler. You guys deserve it. Shout out to the mods, guys. We got the best mods in the game. Crypto Billy said, hola, Kelly. Is Kelly in here? Shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Kelly. Oh my God, Golden started off with $200. Shout out to Golden, said mod love. Golden, you're already giving back to the community. You're giving back to the mods too, bro. One of the most generous people I've ever seen. Probably the most generous person I've ever met in my life. Shout out to Golden. You are an absolute legend. Thank you for doing that for the mods, man. We appreciate you so much. Even Rob pulls his weight from time to time. Shout out to Tyler Turton. You guys are hilarious. Shout out to Sergio. What is going on, Sergio? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you for tuning in. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Taking a look at Bitcoin. And there are two major ranges I am looking at here. We believe, shout out to Reaper, said, we believe Golden is the Satoshi. I don't think he is, but he definitely throws around that Bitcoin like he could be. But no, I can confirm. I have met him. I can confirm he is not Satoshi. Hey, shout out to Goldavelli dropping some love for the mods. Appreciate the hat, bro. Nashville was lit. Shout out to Goldavelli. Shout out to the mods. And shout out to Goldavelli. I don't know if you want to leak your real name online. I won't say it either, but I'm pretty sure I know it. But shout out to you, bro. Congrats. Yeah, Nashville was lit. Yeah, it was super fun. So shout out to Goldavelli. But let's go ahead and continue on here. So as we look at this, as we look at the Bitcoin chart here, guys, there are two major ranges I'm looking at. Now, obviously, yesterday we were looking at the possibility of losing this point of control of the macro range. Now, this is actually not the macro range that I've been looking at, but just to kind of break this down for you guys, we have the current range, which is basically the volume profile when pulled to the current price action, right? But there is also another range I'm paying attention to, and that is the previous value area, which is basically pulled from the beginning of the range all the way to about Monday the 24th of June. Now, I am paying attention to both of these ranges. They're not super, super different. You can see if I turn them on and off. They're not super different, but you do get a different value area high and value area low. The POC is going to remain the same as obviously most of the price action, whether you're looking at this or the whole area of consolidation. That the highest area where the most volume was transacted does remain the same. But I do want to start looking at this current range because, as you guys know, we looked at this yesterday because, you know, when you look at this older range, right, we use this to predict that move above the value area low. Once we held that value area low to support, we look to come to the POC, and then eventually we look to get to the value area high. However, you can see we did not make it to that value area high. We just barely, or not just barely front ran it, but we did front run it by a bit here. But when you look at that current range, you can see we did come up and tap that value area high almost to the exact dollar here. And not only that, guys, you know, when we use these volume profiles, we are looking for shorts at the highs, longs at the lows. Even on the deviations, we can look for the longs at the lows if we can get the confirmations. But that is essentially how we treat these, right? I'm not going to beat the dead horse here. We always go over this constantly. If you're new to the channel, you know, typically we are looking for shorts at the highs as you deviate above the value area high. This is considered an overvalued asset, and the idea is to short that back down into the range, which is considered the fair value. And if you know something is overpriced, why not short it and make some money as you're expecting it to get pushed back into the fair value? Same theory goes for the lows, right? We took a short here back in May in the premium Discord as we long the lows, looking to get above that value area low, go to the POC and the value area high. Also caught that short from the high. But as we came up here, guys, we did wind up seeing some bearish divergences on some pretty interesting time frames. 8-hour bear div, 12-hour bear div as well. You can see right here. Higher highs on the price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. And we did wind up getting that rejection. We also had some other confluence up here. We also had a weekly level of resistance sitting up there as well. Actually, I think there was another weekly. Yeah, we had this weekly, this untapped weekly right here. I don't know why this is not on the chart. Right here. Let me go ahead and label this really quickly. Bada boom, bada bing. Where is the weekly? Where is weekly? There it is. Okay. So there you go. So we did come up and tap that weekly like almost perfectly to the dollar. Just wicked above it, put in some other local bearish divergences into that weekly. And then what happens if you're just looking in terms of the volume profile? Very simply put, you put in the higher time frame bear divs. You also put in the local bear divs up here on time frames such as the 30-minute. You had the higher highs on your price action into the key level of resistance, which was the weekly and the value area high confluence. Could have been looking at that as a little bit of a zone. And then you see you have your lower highs on your momentum waves, and price gives you the expected rejection from the value area high. Where's price likely to go after that? Right to the POC, and you can see we are kind of just clinging to this point of control, which does make things a little bit hard to read, guys. Just because, as we all know, the POC oftentimes acts as a magnet for price. So sometimes when we come to interact with it, you kind of dip below it, back above it, back below it, back above it, and then eventually, if you do wind up losing it, you are going to be looking towards that value area low. And this is what we were looking at yesterday as we were talking about if we were able to lose that value or POC, we could potentially look for price to go back down to that value area low. Now, we do have some local levels of support. I am in a scalp long right now, which I will talk about in just a second. Shout out to the premium Discord. With that being said, I am in that little local scalp long, but I am not necessarily looking for this to just instantly blast off to higher prices, at least, right this second. I am obviously bullish on Bitcoin in the long term, guys. I do think that eventually we will break these all-time highs. And I'm not really bearish either, right? I am still somewhat bullish, cautiously optimistic or cautiously bullish because I do think that this trend, technically, as long as this local trend continues to put in higher highs and higher lows, we could anticipate higher prices to come. And we're going to take a look at that liquidation heat map and see if we can take anything away from there to see if we can anticipate any liquidity, because As you guys know, if we're looking at that main range of the previous volume profile, oh my God, with this previous volume profile, you can see we did miss that value area high, and we know that we have some liquidity sitting above these wicks here, from people who were shorting back up here, right? Shorting that back test. Likely their stop losses are sitting between this gap, between this weekly and the value area high, and if we know we have liquidity up here, we know price could potentially be attracted to that, and if we start dipping into that liquidity and we start stopping out those shorts, it would add extra buy pressure to the market and push us all the way up into that value area high, which is sitting at about $71,400. So really the idea here, guys, in the long term, is before we take a look at the local levels here, I just want to break down the kind of long term, right? The question that everybody wants to know is, are we going to get the big breakout to all-time highs, or are we going to are we going to continue to range, or are we going to get the big breakdown? And in my own personal opinion, until we break this value area low, and to be quite honest, that last line of defense is going to be at that 58, 59K zone where we have the CME gap. I don't know if we're going to come down there, but if we did, that's kind of the last zone of support I would be willing to look at. Once we start losing this area, I am probably going to be looking for lower prices, potentially bringing us to our bearish scenario or our bearish target, which would be technically that 51 to 52K level sitting just below these lows that we made on the 4th of July. Now, I'm not calling for 51 to 52K. I'm saying trading is an if this, then that statement. So if we wind up getting the breakdown below the value area low, we could still potentially look for longs. You guys can see last time we came into this value area, we rejected that POC, came back down, but it doesn't instantly call for a gigantic move, right? You could still, as long as you have confirmations, look for long positions, which we were doing, and then you get back into the low, go to the POC, go to the high, right? That's kind of the idea of trading the volume profile. So if we break this value area low, this is a key level to hold, but as long as we stay above this, we can anticipate to just respect these volume profiles, right? But if we break down and we come back down to that lower support zone, which is coming in really between about 60,000 and about 56K, once we start losing that 56K zone, if we don't get those long confirmations below the value area to get the big bounce, that could potentially give us that bigger move down, which just simply put, guys, that 51 to 52K zone is that next level of resistance. Support. And not only do we have the naked value area, let me go ahead and pull that up. Not only do we have the naked value area, but we also have a monthly naked point of control there, which kind of makes sense. It's basically the naked point of control from this little range. But that is your next kind of like super, super, super high time frame monthly naked point of control. But we do have all those levels in between. And again, last line of defense, I'm not necessarily expecting 51 to 52K, but it's always an if this, then that statement. So if we stay within the range, I'm going to expect this to get respected. And then if we break down below, those next real key levels are going to be sitting down here. And then once we lose that, we're probably going to look lower. Now, in my opinion, right, it's kind of hard to call this right now. I would probably be leaning a little bit more bullish. In the long term, I don't really know if we're going to come down to 51 to 52K. But here's the thing, right? As price action develops and we get new information on the chart, we can simply, analyze the price action and figure out how likely it is for price to get to that level. But right now, there's really no reason to look down there. The worst case scenario at the time being is probably going to be this level down here, closer to 60 to 56K. And as long as if we stay above the value area low, we may not even have to worry about that, right? But I did want to bring these up so you do have them on your chart. Remember that CME gap is also sitting here. Could give you that, could be another reason. Maybe they want to go fill that CME gap before sending it higher. But remember, I think it's, I don't know we can look it up. What is the actual, does anybody know the actual percentage of CME gaps get filled? Let's see. How often do CME gaps get filled? Let's see. I think it's like 90. People say 98%. Google says 90%. Who knows? Yeah, okay, so that's what it is. Like 90% of them fill within 2 weeks, I think. So CME gaps on Bitcoin are estimated to fill over 90% of the time, while some sources suggest that at least 65% of CME gaps are filled eventually. Others state that all Bitcoin CME gaps have been filled 100% of the time. That's simply not true, because we can go find those gaps that are still sitting there. So you can't believe everything you see online, right? Like if Google tells me that Bitcoin CME gaps, 100% of them have been filled, we can literally just pull up the CME chart here and find naked gaps, right? I don't know. Maybe should we do it? I don't really want to spend the time, but we could. We can do it, right? There are definitely naked gaps there. So I think a lot of people put a little bit too much weight on just like anticipating those gaps to get filled. But I will say they do get filled way more often than they don't. But it's just not that like 99% percentage. I don't find that, right? So I think Google's saying that they get filled 100% of the time. That's kind of like it says 90%, but then it says some people think that, yeah, I don't know. Those people must not be looking at the chart because you can definitely see them. But either way, guys, if we do come down there, and it's only if, right? If we break down here and come lower, there is a reason to come down there. So the closer we get, obviously, the more likely it becomes to get filled, right? So just pretty simple here, right? Pretty boring day for Bitcoin. Just kind of chilling around. We got the rejection off that other value area high / weekly horizontal level. And now we're just waiting to see if we are going to get that full. I mean, we've lost that POC. If we cannot get back above this soon, guys, and by the way, this is sitting at about $67,000. If we can't get back above that, we could potentially be on our way back down to the value area low. However, we do have some local levels of support. So in the grand scheme of things, right, we can't get above here. Looking to go down to the value area low where we could potentially look for some scalp longs again. And then, that's your key level that you want to hold. Now, if we get above the POC, we could potentially see that liquidity get hunted out at above $70,000 up into that value area high, which you have to be looking at this value area high as resistance, guys. Now, obviously, if we come up here, take this liquidity, and we start fighting this level, get above here, maybe we could get the breakout. But I'll be honest, with the 2-day red dot like really close to printing, I don't know how likely it is we just blast off to all-time highs right now. Anything can happen when you're looking at Bitcoin, but it's just, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, right? Like 3-day VWAP also coming to the downside. 2-day red dot looking to print. Daily red dot confirmed last night. It printed and instantly confirmed. So yeah, the good thing is this daily red dot really is having trouble bringing us down. So, in the long term, these are the major levels that I'm looking at, as well as that lower resistance, right? Or, I'm sorry, lower support. And then if we go ahead and turn this off and just take a look at the actual local time frames, we'll pull up the 1 hour here. There are some levels that I want to take a look at, right? So I'm going to pull this volume profile. I'm going to go all the way from the beginning of the range, and we're just going to pull it in as a full range here, right? Highs respected, lows respected, highs respected, lows respected. And there's a couple different ways you can look at this. In my own personal opinion, you could kind of just incorporate these levels, right, which does move the value area low. In which case, by the way, I am in that scalp long. This does have something to do with why I'm in that scalp long, right? We have the bullish divergences on the value area low, at least on the lower time frames. Let me spawn that up again. So you have your lower lows on your price action. You have your higher lows on your momentum waves. Actually drew this trend line too far, right? It's just local bullish divergences. But oftentimes when we see that, guys, we can at least get some kind of a bounce to the upside. So let me see here. Let me pull it up. Actually, I'll pull this up in a second, but we're up about 2%, right? So we're up 2% on the smaller account. Shout out to the premium Discord. Drop that in there like right before it pumped. But I'll bring up the trade in just a second, but that's kind of the idea behind that scalp long, right? If we are able to remain above this local value area low at $65,803, we could potentially continue up to the POC and the value area high of the range. And I'm going to give you guys these local levels, right? So if Bitcoin, we just looked at the higher time frames, right? That macro range, but I want to give you guys these local levels as well, or at least some of them, because there are some levels you want to pay attention to because there is some nice confluence, right? So we pull our fib from the absolute high here on, right here at about 70,100, and we pull it all the way to the low. You guys can see here, if I can snipe that, there we go. You do have some nice confluence here on that golden pocket value area high. And I do want to bring up my Frankie Candles Essentials indicator in collaboration with Luxalgo, because it did call this this short up here at the weekly almost perfectly. I was at the Bitcoin conference at this point, or I'm sorry, it was the day after the Bitcoin conference. So, but yeah, so I wasn't really watching that. We had it as a short zone on the in the premium Discord. I personally didn't take the position, but it did wind up being the top. But when I was looking at the Frankie Candles Essentials, I do want to bring it up because this thing hits like crazy. But we'll bring that up in a second, but key level here, value area high, golden pocket confluence between 68.4 and 68.176. That's going to be kind of your major level, right? Because when we take a look at some of these medium time frames, guys, although we have the 3-day green dot printing, the 3-hour green dot printing, look at your money flow, right? Money flow is trending out here. 4-hour money flow is already crossed over into the red. So sure, if this green dot prints, it could assist us in this little scalp long and give us an ebb or a flow to the upside. Remember, the green dots indicate the ebbs and flows in the market, or the noise in the market where the money flow indicates the overall trend. So if we get that green dot on the 4-hour and 3-hour, sure, maybe we can get that little continuation up, but we have to remember that we are in danger of that being a lackluster push to the upside before getting another rejection. If we're going to see this 4-hour money flow come back into a deeper red wave, we could potentially look for a continued downtrend here. So I am looking at this trade as a potential scalp within the context of this volume profile locally. So if we make it up to that golden pocket, this is the full golden pocket 786 retracement between about 68.3 and about 69K. So if we do come up there, this is somewhat of a danger zone to potentially put in that lower high and continue down. But once we flip above this and we don't reject from it, that could invalidate the lower high. And at that point, I would anticipate to come grab that liquidity between about 70,000 and 71.4. Now, there are some other local levels here. If we pull some of these local Fibonacci retracements, I'll pull up the 30 minutes so we can pull some more local fibs. Grab our Fibonacci retracement, pull it from this little lower high all the way to the low here. You can see that we do have some other confluence here between the 786, the golden pocket, and the POC. So these are, and to be quite honest with you guys, like even if you're not looking at the golden pockets or the 786s, like, do you see something interesting here, right? First golden pocket 786 is at the POC. Second one is at the value area high and on the deviation, right? So even if you're not looking at fib levels, like these are going to be the important resistance, support and resistance levels. So I would recommend pulling those fibs, but just to give you guys simple numbers here, these are going to be the local levels that I'm watching. So let's go ahead and pull this. Bada boom. Turn it neutral. Bada bing. Boom. Let's go POC, and let's go value area low, right? So there you go. As long as we remain above this value area low, we could look to continue the POC, which we know is a potential place where we could put in a lower high and reject. So I will be taking decent profits at that level. Break above that, we look to go to the value area high. Simple volume profile trading. But those are going to be kind of the local levels. We lose this value area low. The next major level of support I would be looking at, let's check the dailies. Bada boom, right? We did actually come down and test this this daily. Come on over here. This is move this to the current daily. That was the daily that we bounced off of. But let's find these lower levels. Where's that current range? Lower support, right? Or that's much lower. Where is... Hang on one sec. Bear with me, guys. Oh, there's the Frankie Candles Essentials. What this does, guys, shout out to Lux Algo. With the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator, I'll just explain it now because we are I just accidentally pulled it up. When you're looking at these volume profiles, basically what this does is it gives you the free volume profile with some added tools, such as your sauce can signals, which can identify when you are getting bearish signals as you are outside your volume profile. So when you come out of your volume profile, if you get those bearish signals, these are used as confirmation signals, right? It's not that when you see a sauce can you short or when you see a sauce can you long, but when you're looking at this, this basically letting you know that you're getting bearish confirmations as you are deviated above the value area high. So you're looking at this as an overvalued asset, and then the sauce cans are kind of letting you know, like, hey, you're getting bearish divergences, maybe money flow is coming out as you deviate above that high, which makes for a high probability short position to ride it where? Back into the volume profile to the POC and then the value area low, which you could see played out in full. Very important to realize, these are not buy and sell signals. These are confirmation signals. You need to be able to find the confirmations yourself, and then the way I use it is, sometimes you can see the confirmation here, but then those sauce signals should be like a kind of like chef's kiss, right? It's like, oh, hey, we're coming down, I'm in profit, and now we got the sauce can. Now I feel good about this trade. Probably going to come back down to the value area low, and you can see as we deviated below this value area low, we did get the sauce can and the divergences printed here on the Lux Algo Frankie Candles Essentials. And you can also check out Lux Algo if you guys want to check out their premium indicators. This one is completely free. You could just come on into TradingView, type in my name, Frankie, and then click on Frankie Candles. Make sure it's the one by Lux Algo. It's got 1684 downloads, I guess, or whatever you want to call it on TradingView. You guys can definitely check that out. There's 100% free, no email, no strings attached. Just go use it. You can literally use it right now alongside me. So, and especially if you don't have a fixed range volume profile tool, this will give you access to one with auto Fibonacci levels, auto divergence detection with the sauce can. signals, right? So we'll see. I mean, it does hit more often than it doesn't, right? Like this one played out perfectly to the value area low. Doesn't guarantee that this one is going to play out that way, but it is worth taking a shot here, especially because we did get that swing failure pattern of these wicks, right? I saw that SFP. I saw the divergences. Many reasons to at least give this one a shot. And the SFPs give you very clear invalidations, guys. So if you were looking for a long position here, the invalidation is just below that SFP wick, right? If you start breaking that wick, you're going to want to get out of the trade. So I was talking to the premium Discord earlier saying like it's a super low risk trade, right? Because there's not a there's a clear invalidation, right? So I could just set the stop loss. If it gets stopped out, it's probably going to be a bad trade anyway. So it's with that clear invalidation, it makes it a very low risk trade. I wish my entry was a little bit better, but you can't get the perfect entry every single time. But let's go ahead and I do want to talk about some of these other levels. Now, if we go ahead, let me go ahead and do this. Let me put this into a local volume profile, right? So we have this local volume profile. Would definitely be taking a look at this in like the medium term on the hourly time frames. But if we go ahead and hide this, we can go ahead and let me drag that in there as well. And then we will go ahead and pull that full volume profile at the beginning of the range all the way to the high here. So I would call this, right? There's a couple different levels I'm looking at here. Number one, you have the value area low of the larger range sitting at about $64,595. Now, if we can pull some of these fibs, I want to pull a few of these, right? You have a golden pocket, right? You have this golden pocket here sitting at about 63.4. This is another key level I am going to be watching. I don't think we have daily confluence down there. No. Let me see. MPOC confluence maybe? No. Okay. But yeah, 63... 63.4, I would call it, is going to be that golden pocket that I'm watching. And then down below that, we have the $61,000 786. But to be quite honest with you guys, at that point, if we start losing this, we may be going for that CME gap at 58, 59K. But another reason why I will be watching this level, guys, is if we go over to High Block Capital and we take a look at the liquidation heat map here. Let me see here. Yeah, we do have some liquidity sitting below this range. I know it's a little bit hard to kind of like see this the same as you can see TradingView. I know the background's kind of confusing, but you can see down here at about $62,000, even up at 62.6. We do have some liquidity there, so I will be also watching this as a potential swing failure scenario where maybe we come down. And, if we do wind up coming back down, bada boom, maybe we SFP into this golden pocket, 786, and then you can look for the reversal back up into the range. But these are just some levels. So between about, I would call it probably 63.4 all the way down to 61.6. But locally, I would really be paying attention. Let me put this in a folder so I can hide it. Bada boom. Really the main range that I'm paying attention to, unless you're, like looking to catch every single trade, I'm mostly watching this range locally. Other than that, I'm going back up to the higher time frames. I'm looking at the way larger volume profile. So we'll have to see what happens. If we can get back above $67,000, this could be a good chance to get above this range and go take that liquidity above 71K. If we get stuck underneath it, probably going to get a move closer down towards that first that 63.4 zone where we have that potential swing failure, or if we do continue down, just to kind of show this real quick, that 786 is also confluent with the larger value area low at about 61K. So lots of confluence here on these levels. So I would highly recommend you guys watch these levels as well. Let me pull up chat here. Chat was disappeared for quite some time here. I had that Google pulled up. But there you go, guys. That is what I'm looking for. For the most part, if you're not into the day trades or the scalp trades, like still just watching this major range. If we can't get above 67K, we're looking back down towards 61 or 63K because, again, remember that the main range that we've been looking at, that value area low, that macro value area low, is also sitting at 63.3, which, if you guys remember, is very close to that golden pocket. So lots of confluence. So I'll try to it's kind of a confusing analysis today, to be quite honest with you guys, because there's a lot of levels to look at. Key level number 1, 64.5 to the downside. Key level number 2, 63.3, where we have the value area low, golden pocket confluence. And then below that, we have the macro value area low, 786 confluence sitting at 61.6. So there you go. If you didn't get that, rewind it, write them down, make sure you have them on your chart or screenshot my chart and just copy it straight off the bat so you guys don't have to do the work yourself. So there you go, guys. That's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin as of right now. And then just remember, 4-hour money flow coming out, like 8-hour money flow starting to come out as well. 6-hour money flow coming out as well. So, could be a sign for more of a pullback here. And that is why I'm treating this little scalp long I'm in as a potential scalp to put in a lower high and potentially continue to the downside, right? Anytime we see that money flow crossover into the red, right? If we just come back here to that last 6, or we'll go to the 4-hour just because it's more clear here, right? 4-hour, we ranged around a little bit. We got a big move up, ranged around a little bit, right? And then as we started coming down, you can see that red money flow crossover right here. And what happened after that? We did indeed continue that trend down on the 4-hour. Didn't make Bitcoin mega bearish in the long term, right? Because when you zoom out, that little push to the downside was not actually that scary, right? In the grand scheme of things, it's not that scary. But yeah, just keep that in mind. 4-hour money flow coming out. I would like to see that tick back up. Looks like we could continue down. But there we go. We'll see if this scalp long continues to play out. Maybe we'll see it either get stopped out or get pushed up to higher prices before the end of the stream. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. I love not doing the work myself. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Tyler Durden just dishing out orders to the other mods. Shout out to Tyler. And hey, you know how Tyler is a good guy? He's a big dog guy. Listen, if you're afraid of dogs, I get it. But if you just hate dogs because you hate them, something I don't trust. Tyler's a huge dog guy. But anyway, let's continue on. Let's see. We love cats too. We love Tony D's cat. As well. Bear is the man. I'm not against cats, and I'm not against people who like cats. But I'm just saying, if you hate dogs just because you hate dogs, that freaks me out. You can like cats better. That's fine. But if you just hate dogs, that's a big red flag for me. I like goats. Shout out to K Diggity. I like goats as well. That's probably one of my favorites. Shout out to Jay Edits. What is going on, bro? Thank you for that super chat. Said, can you take a look at XRP? Looks like it's doing its own thing. Yeah, shout out to Jay Edits. It's actually already on the list. I appreciate the super chat. We will be taking a look at XRP as it is a shout out to Bullish Bradley. What is going on, bro? We were going to take a look at XRP because we took a look at it yesterday as we had money flow coming up on the daily. I will show that in just a second. But if you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, drop them in the chat right now. Smash the like button first because believe it or not, if you don't hit the like button, we cannot see your altcoin chat. So smash the like button. Shout out to Anon. Bro, you just derailed me, bro. Took the opportunity for the joke. Oh, God. Shout out to Anon. Cats and Bulls. Let's go. Shout out to Lou. But yeah, we were looking at XRP as the money flow was coming up on the daily with a potential green dot. And I want to break that down for sure. Punctuation. Yeah, shout out to Captain. Yeah, the punctuation was perfect there. But yeah, drop those altcoins in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and start off with ETH or Ethereum, as your grandmother might call it. And let's go ahead and take a look here. Now, if you guys saw the TA post that I put on during Bitcoin Nashville, I had technical difficulties on my laptop. Recorded a whole market update. We were in a rush, and then the screen was frozen, so I just had to put a post on YouTube with the TA. Shout out to Tony D. He actually posted it. I did the TA. He posted it. But as you guys know, there were a few different things that I was looking at here, such as, number one, we had the I gotta have to pull up a different chart with the yeah, I'm going to have to pull up another chart with the spider lines. But essentially what we were looking at here, guys, we were looking to hold this blue box. Let me see if I can pull up. I think it's this chart right here was the one I was looking at. Yeah. So basically what I was looking at here was, hey, guys, we got the rejection from $3,500. Shout out to anybody who was watching the live streams back when we were coming up to test this level. Everybody wanted the moon, and we looked at this $3,500 level, not only psychological, but we had the POC and golden pocket confluence. And when we came up here, this was what I was looking at for a potential pullback back down to the value area low. But those key levels I was looking at on that update that I left you guys on the YouTube post was that if we're able to hold these levels at the value area low, that was kind of the first target. And if we dip below it, we had this nice golden pocket daily naked point of control confluence to back us up. But we basically slipped that spider line, came right back above. And I mean, look at the respect on these spider lines, guys. Unbelievable. You come up, tap them right here, and then you get another move up. So as long as we remain above this value area low spider line confluence, I would be looking for this range to continue to get respected. Now, we also have money flow in the red here on the 5-hour and the 6-hour crossing over as well. 8-hour starting to come out with a red dot as well. So if we continue down here, next key level on Ethereum is going to be about $3,080, where we have the daily naked point of control golden pocket confluence, and then just below that you have the 786 daily naked point of control with a daily horizontal horizontal as your next zone of support. Now, this is kind of getting down into that CME gap where Bitcoin has the CME gap, kind of a similar level down there. But same thing as Bitcoin, right? Like as long as we remain inside this larger volume profile, we could potentially expect these levels to get just continuously respected. If we lose it, golden pocket and the 786 daily naked point of control is your next levels to the downside. And I will say, this level did get tapped. We did technically tap the lows here on the Bitstamp chart. I don't know if we did on the Bybit chart, but these are definitely the levels I'm looking at. But again, like we do somewhat have the money flow coming out on some of these medium time frames. 6-hour money flow coming out, 16-hour VWAP coming down, 12-hour VWAP coming down, 10-hour red dot confirmed. I would be careful, but this is definitely your key support. If you remain above this, that's your opportunity to come up. If you start to lose it, I would be looking down towards 3,080. Lose that, looking down to 2,930. So there you go. Higher time frames, 4-day red dot printing. 3-day red dot, money flow kind of chopping up here. I hate this, right? This is why I was talking about mixed signals. Money flow, I'll be honest, money flow was in the red, now it's in the green. We had the red dot, now we have a green dot on the 3-day, but the 2-day is looking for a green dot as well, but the 4-day has a red dot, right? So we're definitely seeing some mixed signals here, but money flow is generally on the 3 days kind of chopped up, 2 days in the red, 4 days coming out. It's hard to take anything away from this money flow. It's been very choppy recently, I'll be honest. Even on the 4-hour, very choppy money flow, which is kind of hard to read. What does that mean? I mean, to be quite honest, oftentimes when you see this chopped up money flow, you kind of just go sideways, right? You can see here you were in the green, you were in the red, then you were in the green, then you were in the red. We just kind of went sideways, and then here you were in the red, in the green, in the red, and we're more or less going sideways, right? Kind of hard to take anything away from that money flow because it is a little bit chopped up. Even the daily, higher daily time frame green and red dots are super, super chopped up. So green dot, red dot. So I'm paying much more attention to the levels and the volume profiles right now, as well as the order flow, rather than the indicators. So there you go. All right, let's see. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. What is going on? Thank you for being here. Shout out to Wix Wi-Fi89. We got the female Candle Mafia in the chat. Shout out to all the female Candle Mafia members. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Pineapple pizza and chicken ripple ice cream. Interesting. Shout out to Wick. Actually, chicken on ice cream doesn't seem that bad. Almost better than pineapple pizza. I do like pineapple pizza. Don't tell my ancestors. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. ADA. Yeah, we could take a look at ADA today. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. We'll take a look at XRP real quick. And we are seeing some interesting stuff on XRP, guys. What we were looking at yesterday on XRP was the daily green dot with that money flow crossover into the green. Now, we did not have this, but we saw that money flow creeping up towards the 0 line with the VWAP coming up as well. And a lot of times when we see that green dot printing with that money flow crossover at the same time, oftentimes we can see some kind of a move to the upside, and oftentimes it is significant. But as you can see here, I'm going to break this down into a few different kind of contexts, but as you guys can see here, we are knocking on the door and now breaching through the doorway to higher prices, which is the previous value area low, sitting at about 62 cents. And this is the level that we needed to get above in order to see the bigger move up to the POC and then potentially up to the value area high. That is what we were looking at. And the question is, are we going to be able to hold support here? I was hoping for a pullback on XRP for a potential long position before we get the move up. I don't know if we're going to get it. We were talking about that yesterday. It's hard to say if we're going to get it. I kind of wanted to see what that money flow crossover and daily green dot was going to give us. But we are definitely knocking on the door to higher prices here. This is just bing, bong, right? Get above this, go to the POC, go to the value area high. That is kind of the long-term plan for almost 100% pump on XRP. And not only are we getting the daily green dot and the money flow crossover, you guys can see we come on over to the monthly. We do also have the monthly VWAP cocked to the upside, looking for that green dot as well, with the money flow kind of coming up. Kind of flat here. Hard to take anything away from that money flow. But if we get that monthly green dot, guys, that could potentially be a pretty fire trigger wave right here. Could be a pretty nice trigger wave to send XRP to higher prices, right? And as we always talk about, when you have an anchor wave, which technically didn't really hit that oversold level, but you have a nice big anchor wave to the downside here and a nice little trigger wave here. Oftentimes, that is what sends you to higher prices. So we get that green dot and trigger wave on the monthly. I think that could potentially push us up here. And that daily, you can't really look for this to look much better than that, right? Money flow curves to the upside, crosses into the green, and we were talking about how if we were able to come up here, we could crack those highs, potentially put in a bearish divergence, which wouldn't necessarily indicate a massive dump, but if we were going to anticipate a potential daily bear div here, price would have to break the previous highs, which you can see we may be on our way to do. So this is looking a little bit, shout out to, I forget who said it, but shout out to Siamano, says 12:25 a.m. for me. Gotta go to sleep. Wish I could stay longer. Shout out to Siamano. We'll see you next time, bro. We'll be here waiting for you, man. And shout out to All Set. Thank you for gifting those memberships. Let's go. Shout out to All Set for gifting those Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. And let me just make sure. Okay, I didn't miss any other ones. So shout out to All Set. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. But yeah, that is what I am looking at on XRP. And let me pull up this other kind of context here, or this. Oh, let me pull up the live stream chart real quick. Bada boom. Bada bing, right? So here we are, right? This is kind of another context that I'm looking at it in. We kind of have this lower area of value, which we are fighting to get above that value area high. And then the macro value area low I have on this chart is a little bit higher, but it's also in perfect line with the 786 of this golden pocket or Fibonacci retracement that we're looking at here, which is pulled from the high all the way to the low. You come up, hit your head on the golden pocket, flip above that golden pocket, and then you look up towards that 786 to be if we're able to stay above that golden pocket, you look to come up to that 786 for for the next target, right? So maybe we can get up to that 66-cent level for XRP. We'll have to see. The one thing I will say here is, money flow kind of chest. Look at this. Money flow just completely wonked out as we wiggle sideways here on the 4-hour. Let's check the 3-hour money flow. Kind of chopped up, mostly coming out here, in my opinion. 2-hour money flow, this is just complete chop, which gives you that sideways action, right? Like kind of a perfect time to explain that because you can see red, green, right? You're just kind of going sideways. So kind of hard to pull anything away from these lower time frames. Again, I would really like to see a little bit of a cool off before I were to look for a long entry. I don't necessarily like to enter on these big green candles. So I would like a pullback, 5-hour VWAP coming down. If we do pull back, some levels that I am looking at, this value area low at 57 cents would be nice as it is. Let me pull it from here. Yeah, I would look at like 57 all the way down to like 55, 53 cents. These would be some levels I would be happy looking for longs at if we were able to come down. You don't know what you're going to bounce off of, but these are going to be some key levels that I'm looking at on the way down. And then if I pull this more local fib, I'm sure this lines up with the value area low. Yeah, so yeah, I would like to come down into this zone potentially if it happens, right? There's no guarantee that that's going to happen, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens here. Bada boom, bada bing. So there you go. Come back down into here, boom, back into here, boom. I will be looking for longs down here if I can get the confirmations. But to be honest with you, that daily does look good. Unless it completely fakes us out here and just rips back into the red, the daily does look pretty decent. All right, let's go ahead and see. All right, so let's take a look at ADA really, really quickly. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, here we go. ADA. This is an older ADA chart. I believe, is this that 2-day bear? This was back in, those 2-day bull divs, guys, tend to always put the bottom in for the alts. It happens very often, right? You have the lower low in your price action, higher low in your momentum waves. Those 2-day bull divs give you the send of a lifetime. We saw that come in on the bottom. A lot of altcoins came in on the bottom just based off 2-day bear bullish divergences. But let's go ahead and dig in here. I'm going to get rid of this purple box. That's now tapped. Previous value area high. I'm going to get rid of this local range. Bada boom. Let's see. I'll get rid of this as well. Yeah, I would actually probably have been looking at this Oh, no, don't extend. There we go. Okay, so just want to see something here. Yeah. Previous value areas are absolutely undefeated. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look here. You know what? I will actually take those levels. Let's pull that range, extrapolate that to the right. Bada boom. Grab your value area high, your POC, your value area low. Okay, so, and then I would probably also be looking at this as well. Yeah, you can see we rejected that POC almost to the dollar. Okay, I don't want to draw too many profiles. I don't want to confuse people. But I will say this. Let's hide this. I will say this, right? So your doorway to higher prices is going to remain this key level right here, which is the value area low of your previous range. It's also in confluence with your value area high of that local range. So let's go ahead and pull that up on shorts. So yeah, this is your key level, right? If you want higher prices for ADA, you got to hold this value area low and value area high, and then that will open up the door to get that bigger move up towards 61 to 66 cents. But until you could get up there, you are going to potentially be bing-bonging around, in my own personal opinion, right? If we pull up Market Cipher real quick, let's take a look at the 8 hour. Yeah, look at that 8 hour money flow coming out, guys. I mean, money flow coming out, guys, indicates it moves to the downside, right? This is not my opinion, right? This is just based off what we're seeing on the charts. So, if we get stuck under that value area high, POC, value area low are the next, obvious targets in my opinion. POC coming in at 37, value area low coming in at 34, right? If we get above key level of resistance, 46 cents, flip that to support. You could be looking up towards 51 where we have this naked daily horizontal. So yeah, these are the key levels I would be looking at. But to be quite honest with you, yeah, 4 hour green dot. Yeah, I would be looking. This kind of looks just like messy. It looks sideways. You're getting VWAP rejections. Money flow is a mess. The only thing that's giving you a clear signal here is the 8 hour money flow. 10 hour money flow crossover into the red. So yeah, I would potentially look for some noise, but potentially looking for that trend to continue to the downside based off the medium hourly time frame money flow. So keep an eye on that. And then you have this little intermediary range, but I won't even pay attention to that because chart's going to wind up looking like this, right? That's not what you want. If your chart looks like this, please, for the love of God, delete everything and start from scratch. You do not want your chart looking like that. If you ever see somebody's chart like that, where it's just like absolutely chopped up with all these different levels, and then they have like their indicators on with everything showing. I have like barely anything showing here on Lux Algo. But if I were to just pull up, let me pull up like a default Lux Algo. Bada boom, bada bing, right? If I just pull this up, right, and like my chart is looking like this. If your chart looks like this, or you see anybody with a chart like this and they're trying to give you advice, that is, like, what are you looking at here, right? Like, you want to keep trading. Trading's already complicated. You want to keep it as simple as possible. So just keep that in mind. That's why I like the volume profiles. It gives you these nice, clean areas of balance to look at. But they could still get crowded, right? So that's why I like to keep it clean. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue on. We got ADA. Let's check out Solana real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Solana because we've been looking at this quite a lot. But Solana, right? Like, very simply put, this is the key level of support we held. And ever since then, right? Ever since back when we were testing this level back on around the 4th of July, after that big dump to the downside, we were just saying, hey, you hold this level. That's where you expect the journey up towards your value area high, which we just barely front ran here. But yeah, like, not really much to do here. Ever since we made that low, we've just kind of been checking in, being like, all right, we're above the level. Let's see if we can continue, right? And we just started that journey up towards that value area high. So really what I'm looking at here is if we can hold this weekly naked point of control, flip it into support, or even just hold this the levels within this naked value area, hold them as support, right? This is where you can look for that continuation up. And then the next target for Solana would be between about $200 and $202, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I would be looking at. Dip back into this range. Maybe you kind of respect that a little bit. But yeah, as long as you're able, within this volume profile, guys, we could potentially look for that value area high to get hit. Very simply put. Other than that, 4 hour, Money flow coming out. So, again, maybe we kind of continue down, but this is the volume profile. Very, very, very simply put. But again, we've been checking in on this like 15 times. So I'm just going to kind of let this move around a little bit. Really nothing else to update. We looked at this yesterday. Nothing has really changed. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Take a look at Matic or Matic, as some people like to say. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's pull up a different Matic chart. Let's check out. Bada boom. Check the Bybit chart. All right. I guess we'll start a new Matic chart. Like, what happened to my Bybit chart? Here we go. Okay. I guess we'll just look at this one. So I'm going to get rid of these local levels. Bada boom, bada bing. That's a weekly naked point of control. That is probably still naked. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, we want to hold these levels. Like, I mean, the next level, if we break this, I mean, let's pull up the VPVR. I mean, if you really do not want to lose this. Yeah, I mean, like, your last line of defense is 36 cents, or you could be down into the 20s. So, you really want to reclaim these daily naked, weekly and daily and monthly naked points of controls. If you could hop back over these, that would be best case scenario in my opinion. Because if you start losing this, not the best look, right? The one nice thing here, let's pull up the. Yeah, I mean, I don't even. Yeah, I don't know. Matic kind of in danger here, in my opinion. I'll be quite honest with you. God, man, like, this VWAP is flopping on the weekly. Like, you don't want to see this, right? You don't want to see these VWAPs coming down as you're dancing with such a dangerous level. I wish I didn't have to say this. I like Matic. Yeah, I mean, then, yeah, we got mixed signals, guys. I mean, like, this is red dot, the VWAP coming right back up. You're looking probably for a green dot here somewhat soon. Things are chopped up right now. But yeah, really what you want to do here is you really want to reclaim this daily and monthly naked point of control at 55 cents. If you could break that, retest it, then you could look for a move into this previous area of balance between, I would call it 64 and 74 cents. And then you could start to potentially build value higher, get back into these ranges, and then work your way up. But, definitely in the danger zone here. I mean, pull up the VPVR one more time. I mean, yeah, yeah, you don't want to lose these lows. You lose these lows, very bad. Very, very bad. Yeah, definitely want to you want to start seeing moves up on Matic soon here, and I'll be honest, I'm not really seeing anything that's looking for it. You got a tiny little 4-hour bull div here, but money flow is absolutely chopped up. Very, very hard to call. And even if I hide these, even if I hide these levels, right? Hide that naked point of control. Hide this naked point of control. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, so your goal here, I mean, this is kind of sloppy too. It's not even like it was a clean move. You really want to work up here. If you start getting a pump, you want to work your way up to that 67 cent level. You want to get back up into this previous area of balance. But yeah, definitely in the danger zone here for Matic. Other than that, kind of hard to say, to be quite honest. Like, we're pretty far away from the previous balance. So there you go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. Let's see. We have like $200 worth of CAS. Calm down. RMT was explaining to us in Nashville why Caspa is trash, but I couldn't understand it, and number go up. So shout out to Wick. Number go up. You can make money. I'm in, right? I don't care if the number's eventually going to go down, as long as it's going up. And we could sell before it goes down, which we could typically do when we're looking at the charts. But let's see. Shout out to Mark Dutch. What is going on, brother? Retro Mike Tech in the house. What is going on? Wifey Wick tells me there is cast trash talk. People talking trash. Top G in the chat. What is going on, Top G? Everybody pour a bottle or a cup of sparkling water for our boy Top G. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on here. Shout out to Top G wants to take a look at Whiff. Let me take a look at AVAX real quick, and then we can take a quick look at Whiff before we hop on out. Let's take a look here. Okay, so, low key, I don't want to act like we predicted this or called this because I can't guarantee you that when I drew this, right? I guess we can argue that we drew it on the 16th of July because that's where the line starts. But you're never going to guess the timing on this, but was pretty close, right? Just dip back into the range, right back up to the previous value area, golden pocket confluence. And then we got the harsh rejection, and now we are playing around with this area of balance again. Are you guys noticing anything interesting here? As you can see, value area high respected, right? Or this value area is respected, right? You come in, this is your balance. Then you get inbounds to the upside. You're going to hunt out that previous balance, which is probably what I was explaining before we got the move. Was, hey, if we get inbounds, we're going to look for price to come. It's funny because it's almost the exact same drawing. This is where you're going to be looking for price to go, hunting out that previous balance, right? And then that value area low is resistance until proven otherwise. And then you can kind of look to see below you where that last balance is. So if you get the harsh rejection, you just simply look to come back into your older area of balance. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for that super chat. I will bring that up in a second. I forgot to mention it. Super dope because I think there's a decent amount of people here on our Blowfin link, which will get you access to the dining room. So we'll talk about it in just a second. But yeah, I would say, hey guys, like these are the levels, right? You have your lower volume profile, your higher volume profile, right? One area balance, right? If we get a bounce on out of here, you're going to be looking to come up here, right? And then look to fill this range. If you can hold the value area low, you look to come back up to the value area high and the POC, right? But as of right now, we are potentially getting stuck in here. So with that being said, and the 4-hour money flow crossing over into the red, I would expect some turbulence here as the VWAP is coming up on the 4-hour. You could potentially get a push up here, but money flow would indicate it would be a lackluster pump for a move back to the downside. So key levels of support here on Avalanche are going to be 25.77 and 24.20 at that value area low. And then once you lose that value area low, you can look down towards the previous value area high, which we've looked at before, and you can see it does work as support. And it's based off all the same theories that we were just talking about. So there you go. Going to be looking at that range between 27.23 and 24.20 to be the current range until we break out and hunt out old balance, right? So there you go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. So let's go ahead and check out Whiff real quick. I typed in Wick. Let's check out Wick. I mean Whiff. What am I doing? Not Wick 589. Whiff. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Okay. So let's take a look here. I'll be honest, guys. Here's your balance, right? Obvious balance. Push into the range. POC test with money flow coming out. What typically happens when money flow comes out is you get the continuation of the trend to the downside. This is a 12-hour money flow crossover into the red. So if we do get that, you can anticipate the 12-hour trend to continue down, which could potentially bring you to much lower prices. And you are starting to lose your value area low. So I'd be careful with Whiff right now. We have VWAP coming up on the 10-hour. Like, you're going to get a lot of noise over here. Yeah, you're getting green dot, red dot. I'll be honest, it's been pretty chopped up on the indicators lately, so I'm just going to pay attention to the levels here. To be quite honest, let me see here. Let's pull this real quick. No. So, yeah, I mean, I'll give you these. I'll just give you the local levels on Whiff. So, let me just pull out to the next candle. So I'm going to grab out this little naked value area here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, look at that. All right, test right on the value area high. Yeah, so I'll say this, right? I don't think it's impossible to bounce here. And the reason being is not even, actually. Like, you barely have divergences here. Did you even get, like, a lower time frame div at all? Yeah, so you got low time frame bull divs here, but this is not enough to call for a strong move, in my opinion. So maybe you get a little bit of a bounce as your VWAPs are coming up on some of the higher hourly time frames. But with such a chopped up market cipher B right now, I'd be paying more attention to the levels. So, you know, if we get a bounce, right, maybe you bing bong around, but, you know, the key level here is about $2.25. You lose that $2.25 level, we could potentially look for a move to the POC, get stuck on that POC, look for a move down to the value area low. So these are kind of the major levels. And then to the upside, really what you're looking to get accepted back into is above this macro value area low at 244. So yeah, that's kind of simple analysis here for WIF. These are the key levels below, and then above that, the value area low at 244 is going to be absolutely key to hold. So there you go. Shout out to Green Man, said I put this month's wages into XRP and Jasmy Coin. It's all money. Should I sell or hold? Shout out to Green Man. Let's see. I can't tell you whether to buy, sell, or hold. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm just some crazy guy on YouTube that is screaming into a camera. But I would say it's all my money. Should I sell or here's the thing, right? I'll tell you what I do, right? My long-term holdings, right? My XRP holdings, I plan on selling no time soon, right? I'm looking to hold these into 2025, hopefully. So personally, me, I would not be selling them, but I don't know your time frame. I don't know how much money you're trying to make. I don't know how long you're trying to hold for. I don't know if you believe in crypto. You're trying to get a quick cash grab. There's many things for me to answer that if you should hold or sell, right? And this is why. If I were to tell you, right, let's say you were holding WIF and you're like, hey, I'm in the money, right? I bought down here. Should I sell or should I hold? Well, my thought process is, hey, if this bull market is going to continue, even if we dump down more, right, I would anticipate to continue up, right? But if I tell people to hold here, right, and I can't tell you either way, but if I say, if I were to tell someone to hold their WIF here and then it dips down, they're going to be like, why did you tell me to hold? It's going down. But for me, right, this wouldn't hurt me at all, right? Because if I were buying WIF, this is kind of, I'll do it with XRP, right? Because this makes a lot more sense. For XRP, right, pull up the daily, turn off the indicators, pull up the Bitstamp charts. We get a little bit. I'll do it with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's just like so much easier to do it with, right? So people always tell me, should I sell or hold my Bitcoin? Right? Well, for me, it's hard to say, right? Because my entry price is between 20 and 21K, right? So for me, I'm holding this thing until 2025, right? I'm expecting price to potentially, come into the hundreds, right? Hundreds of thousands, and So for me, people are like, should I take profit? I bought down here. Should I take profit or should I sell? Me personally, I'd be holding, but even if it dumped down, I would just be picking up more in anticipation of those higher prices. But if I tell people to hold here and it dips, they're going to be like, hey, why'd you tell me to hold? It went down, right? So I can't tell you what to do. I don't know what your time horizon is. I don't know what your buy-in is. So very hard to say, but I hold all my long-term bags. I'm holding them into 2025. Or unless something crazy happens, I will take profits earlier. But, the plan is to hold into the 2025 cycle and continue to profit off these crazy magic internet monies. Now, before I let you guys go, I do want to take one more last look at Bitcoin here because there is something I am watching. Now, again, we talked about that lower price target, potentially 51K if like the real mega dump happens. But let's talk about the higher target because if we are able to creep up here and attack these range highs, we could potentially see that break off into new all-time highs. And I know a lot of people are looking at this as some kind of like a descending, broadening wedge. Something like that, right, which oftentimes does give you a continuation to the upside. And then the kind of way you would measure this as a technical target is you would just kind of measure from the high to the low. This is kind of rough. And then you would drag this up, right? Now, I'll be honest, like this brings it up to like 86, depending on like where you measure this or how you measure this. It brings you up into like almost $89,000, $90,000. Now, could this happen? Absolutely. This is definitely, not impossible. But I will say, basically the technical targets for me would be, I would not be looking for, 40K. I mean, these are all levels we've been looking at, right? And you match this with traditional technical analysis and traditional technical breakouts, right? I'm not calling for this, but, we got some kind of crazy meltdown here and this does wind up breaking down. It could bring you back down to that $40,000 level, which is already a level we've been watching. This is why I don't really pay attention to patterns. Right, it is kind of cool that it matches up, but for me, the major targets for me locally or like not in above 40K would be either 51K or 81K. So 51 or 81, which one's more likely to happen? Kind of hard to say, but as long as we remain inside this volume profile, guys, not that one. As long as we remain inside this volume profile, I don't really have a reason to anticipate much lower prices until we start not only breaking the value area low, but breaking that 58 to 59K level where we have that lower support range. Bada boom, right? Oh, no, it's not it. Where is it? Right here. bada boom, right? Until we start losing this range, I'm not looking down there. But in hindsight, if we break down to that 51 to 52K level or even 40K, you could come back to that pattern and look at that technical breakout and be like, oh my God, it was magic. But we've been looking at these levels for quite some time, just waiting for something to happen here on Bitcoin. If we hold that $67,000 POC, we could look higher. If we lose it and get stuck underneath, we're going to be looking down lower to the local levels that we were looking at on the live stream earlier. So with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us and sticking around to the end. Oh, I almost forgot. By the way, guys, if you are signed up with our Blowfin link, there we go. Shout out to the premium Discord. If you guys come on down here to the dining room, we now have the bot back up and running, and we have now added Blowfin. So if you've signed up with our link, I know you guys can't really see it, but trust me, it's here. If you guys have signed up with any of our affiliate links, but Blowfin now newly added, you guys can get access to all the dining room channels where we post weekly premium TA. Oftentimes they are trade setups. Sometimes it's just general TA. Yo, those peaches are crazy. But yeah, if you guys want access to this, you want to get a kind of a little taste of what we do in the premium Discord. This is the easiest and most free way to do it. You just have to sign up with one of our links, click on whatever exchange you signed up with, and then you can go ahead and type your user ID, and then we will get you in there within a day or so. The mods will be able to get you in there. You get access to premium TA, you get access to the chat, altcoin alpha, altcoin chat, airdrop watch, token metrics channel, giveaways, and much more. Live high block. I don't know if that's live, actually, the high block, but I know the Lux algo is. So if you guys are interested, go check that out. And with all that being said, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Thank you all for hanging out till the end of the stream. Smash that like button on your way out. If we get 11 likes on this video, we'll give away a hat. I'm just kidding. We'll just give away a hat anyway. But with all that being said, guys, I will see you tomorrow right here, same place, same time. FOMC tomorrow, so be careful. Volatility likely to come in. Will it pump us? Will it dump us? I don't know, but the charts will tell us before it happens, and we will likely catch those trades. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all the time I got. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Shout out to the Infinity. Asks, how do you avoid stress when you're in open position? So for the Frankie fake out, I'm going to go ahead and give you some words of wisdom because I've been stressed out in positions before. Trust me. And here's the thing, man. If you are stressed out in a position, it is likely one of two cases. Number one, you were either not confident in your analysis or your strategy, or number two, you are trading with too much money or money that you cannot lose, right? So here's the thing, right? And here's the other thing too. You're gonna feel stressed out in a position, especially in the beginning, no matter what. It's gonna be a little nerve-wracking, but I'm gonna give you some tips, right? Number one, if you're really feeling stressed out, it's probably because you can't lose the amount of money that you're gonna lose if you lose the trade. Number two, have a stop loss set, right? When you go on an exchange, especially Blowfin, Feemax, the ones that we use, they enable you to put your stop loss in, and it tells you the amount of money that you're going to lose, right? If you lose this trade, it'll say, if the price hits this stop loss, you will lose $150. It allows you to see this before you get into the trade. So my words of advice would be, not financial advice, of course, but my words of advice would be, when you find a trade setup, put your TPs in as limit orders, right? You want to set them in as just passive orders or stagnant orders. Preset them, right? Your take profit and your stop loss. And then you have a trading idea. I'm going to pull up the screen real quick just to kind of illustrate this for you, right? If you're in a position, right? Let's say price is coming down, bada boom, bada bing, right? Oh, cool. We got bullish divergence. Money flow is starting to come up. Okay, cool. We have a bullish divergence. Whoops. Bada boom, right? Okay, cool. I have a bullish divergence. I want to get into this long position, right? And what's the idea for this long position? Well, maybe you have a volume profile, right? Maybe you're hanging out down here and you had a range all the way up here, right? And you're pulling your volume profile, your value area high, your POC, and your value area low, right? And we'll just pretend price didn't move yet, right? So if I were looking at this as a trade, I'd say, hey, I'm going to enter right here, and I'm going to look at this as a move up to the value area low, right? Where's my first resistance? It would be the value area low of the range. If I get above that value area low, the next likely place for price to go is the POC. If you get above that POC, the next likely place for price to go is the value area high. So if I look at this, and then let's say it was an SFP, right? And we know that that stop loss has got to go right below the wick. So now I have a trading plan, right? You may not have a trading plan. You may just be buying price and letting it go, hoping it goes in your direction. Right? I don't know the situation. Maybe you do have a trading plan. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you words of wisdom here. So if I enter this trade, I can say, if I get price to go below this wick, my idea is invalidated and I want to get out of the trade. Now, if price comes up, I want to take profit at the value area low, the POC, and the value area high. So I can set this level. I can set the TPs that I want to take profit at, and then when I do that, Blowfin will tell me, or Feemax, or whatever exchange you're using, will tell you, hey, if this stop loss gets triggered, you will lose $85. Are you okay with losing $85 on that trade? If so, take it, set it, walk away, and you will either check your phone and you'll either be in profit or the trade will be gone, right? And you'll be down $85. But be okay with that number before you take the trade, right? And now if you're looking at this and you're saying, oh my God, I don't want to lose $100. I can't lose $100, right? This is probably why you may be a little bit stressed out. You're probably trading with too much money or money you can't lose, or you don't have a clear trading idea. Because when I take a trade, if I get stopped out, it's okay. It's part of the plan, right? It's just like, oh, okay, it didn't work out. I got stopped out for a small loss. But over the course of many, many trades, right, I can get stopped out of a few of the trades, right? I can even get stopped out of more than I win, right? Get stopped out, right? I can get stopped out, and then I can hit one TP, and then get stopped out for a small win, and then I can hit full TP. So that's 2 losers and 1 half winner, and then a full winner, and you're profitable, right? So that's kind of my little quick words of wisdom. Make sure you have a trading plan. Set your stop loss and your take profits before you actually enter the trade, and then you can literally walk away, shut your phone off, and then just check it whenever you want to see if you won or you lost. And sometimes the most brutal thing that happens is you enter the trade, and then you open it back up, and price just did this the whole time. And you're just like sitting down here and it's like, oh my God, is this going to play out? Oh my God, it's so stressful. But yeah, just walk away from the chart. Set those levels, walk away from the chart, and hopefully, and make sure you're not trading with too much money. And hopefully that eases your stress in trading just a little bit. And with all that being said, little extra sauce to go for the Mafia. That's all the time I got. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go. at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out,